40 points.
Here is Scantling, and it's blocked by Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan blocked Chris Gatling on a great defensive play.
Gatling is holding his elbow. Now keep an eye. They front. Gatling catches. Now watch Jordan come right in the middle of your picture, right there. Clean block.
Really needed it. Here's Jordan working in, loses the ball, kicked around, and fighting for it is Pippen.
Jordan on this end to steal the ball. Tommy Kettles drives. Michael flips it out, catches it. Kendall Gill in a foot race with him. Michael goes up, powers, hammers it down, and gets 43.5 on the clock. Michael with 36 points. The tongue is out, full extension.
Sager.
Well, Michael, you made so many big shots to win games. You had 39 points tonight, but it was defense in the overtime. 2 steals, but then the sensational steal right here. You had the 2 early blocks.
Well, I mean, we were not shooting the ball well. We couldn't get any scores, so our defense had to hold up. You know, I made a good steal, then Scotty comes right back and makes a good block. So, I mean, defense wins championships. We know that. And defense wins championships. We know that. And tonight we showed that.
Brian Mahoney, the Associated Press. Kobe, is it almost a helpless situation a little bit when you know you're playing a team that's not going to let you get off, and you can tell maybe in the second quarter where other guys don't have it to help you, alleviate the pressure?
Well, I think, if we're going to learn anything from this series is that we can't expect to win a championship by focusing on the offensive end. We have to be able to hold people down as well. And we're pretty good at it, but I think we can be much better.
Chris Broussard, ESPN The Magazine. Kobe, Tracy McGrady said after a game this season against Boston that was the best defense he'd ever seen. Do you agree with that?
I don't know. I've seen some pretty stiff ones, and this is right up there with them.
Kobe, you won the MVP. You led the team to the finals. How do you characterize this season?
Well, the goal was to win a championship. It wasn't to win MVP or anything like that. It was to win a championship. So, from that aspect, we failed.
I know it's tough to say that this is the best defense that you have seen in your career, but maybe in these playoffs, I told you this because they find a way to a little bit contain you that other teams didn't.
Yeah, no, they definitely were the best defense I've seen in the entire playoffs.
Hey, y'all came last year. I didn't like the way y'all finished last year. I know you didn't like the way. I seen your body language when you lost. I know I played with you and everything. When we lose, I know you do not like to lose. So what was your thought coming in this year? What do y'all have to change when y'all go back to that championship and if y'all face the Boston Celtics? How would you change everything?
Well, we started changing it over the summertime, and that's everybody getting in the weight room, getting stronger. That's one. And 2, we got to be a much better team defensively and on the boards consistently. It's not something that we can turn on and off. Boston, they were a much better defensive team, and defensive rebound is going to win a title every time. Not some of the time, every time. Defensive rebound is going to win a title every time. Not some of the time, every time. And we understand if we want to have that parade in June, these are improvements that we're going to have to address.
What's up, world? It's your boy Kelvin coming back at you. Salute to everybody, man. Hope everyone's doing well out there. All right, real quick, I want to talk about the NBA playoffs. I know as I'm recording this, I think 1 or 2 of the games already started, depending on when you hear this video or watch it or whatever. Some of the games might already be done, the first couple games, but I just want to give my quick thoughts on NBA playoffs. As you see on the intro, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. I wanted to post it to remind y'all that 2 of the greatest winners that ever played in the NBA, they put emphasis on defense. I know that the media has brainwashed y'all to think that the only thing that matters is step back threes and fancy dribbling, and the other side of the court don't matter. But as y'all seen last year, even with the Boston Celtics, at some point, you're going to have to make some stops. You have to play some defense to win the championship. If you don't take that side of the court seriously, you ain't going to win nothing. It's just that simple. I don't care what era, what style of play or whatever. You must take the defensive end seriously. Otherwise, you're not going to win nothing. And again, that's why Boston won last year. I'm not a big Boston Celtics guy. They have choked a lot over the years, Tatum and Brown. But one thing they're consistent on is they play consistent, really good defense. And I do respect that. The defensive principles that they have was instilled in them by Ime Udoka, and they've carried it on forward with the new coach that they have, Mazzulla, I believe is his name. And that's how they beat the Mavericks last year, defense. But just real quick, my thoughts. As you see on the screen here, you see 3 teams. Thunder, Cavs, and the Celtics. In my opinion, these are only 3 teams that are serious contenders for the NBA championship. I know you wonder, well, why are those 3 teams on the screen? What does that mean? What you're seeing there is the top 3 teams defensively. They took defense seriously all throughout the regular season. Hence, that is the 3 teams I have the most faith in. The number 4 team is the Houston Rockets with the Udoka. Houston Rockets, their arrow is pointing up. I think they're a year or 2 away, but I like how they built their team, and they're on their way. You know, in the East, all I see is Cleveland and Boston. I like Giannis. I know Dame is coming back. I'm glad he's doing well from the blood clot issues, but I don't consider them a serious threat to Cleveland or Boston. I'm looking at the Knicks. Who else over there? Man, please. I'm not considering the Knicks any kind of serious threat to anybody else. I'm looking at Boston, Cleveland, in a great Eastern Conference Finals. I'll be looking forward to. I think with Boston experience, they'll pull it out. I really like Cleveland. I've liked them for the last few years. I have great respect for Cleveland on how they built their team. But the only issue I have, my minor concern with them is in a tight game late in the playoffs against a great defensive team like the Celtics, will Donovan Mitchell be able to create and get a good look in a tight clutch situation or get a good look for one of his teammates? That is my only concern with Cleveland. Other than that, I like their depth. I like how they built their team. I like their approach to the defensive side of the floor. And I really like their team. I like their team a lot. But I think Boston, with their experience, depending on this Jaylen Brown injury, I would pick Boston, to beat Cleveland. In the West, the OKC Thunder, to me, are far and away the best team. I believe the media is disrespecting them with all the Golden State Warriors and Lakers hype. I agree with Charles Barkley. The media just wants to talk about the Lakers and the Warriors, and they are very much disrespecting the Oklahoma City Thunder. Me, I have great respect for Oklahoma City Thunder. I like teams that build their team the right way, the long way, through draft picks and front office trades, who don't take any shortcuts. Now the Oklahoma City Thunder is in position to contend for the next 8 to 10 years, and we could be looking at a potential dynasty. I have great respect for teams who build like that. No shortcuts, the hard way, and I believe they're going to be rewarded. Even if they don't win a championship this year, I believe they will win a championship somewhere in the future, in the near future. And most importantly, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they play great defense. They've been the best defensive team in the league by far this season. I watch them fairly often, and I've been thoroughly impressed with how they dominate. At times, their defense is so smothering, teams can't even get a shot off, man, The only other team in the West that I would give an outside chance would be the Clippers. The Clippers, I'm going to show this on the screen here. You see they're at the number 2 spot, And what you're looking at is the last 15 games of the season, they've been the number 2 defensive team in the league. They have turned it up, and that's the reason why down the stretch of the season, I believe they went like 17-3 or something like that. They won a lot of games. They've been playing much, much better. With the return of Kawhi Leonard, I'm happy that he's feeling better and he's healthy. And I wish him nothing but the best. I have a soft spot for Kawhi Leonard because what he's dealing with his knee, I deal with it. And people don't understand. I do. You know, people think he's faking or whatever. No, he's not faking, man. This is a very serious degenerative knee he has. And I'm glad he's feeling better. And I wish him nothing but the best, man. But I really like the Clippers team. If the Clippers can get past Denver and they face OKC, that could be one team, the only team I could see beating the Thunder in the West. That series could go 7. And only person I would have faith in beating the Thunder in the West is Kawhi Leonard. That's it. If he stays healthy, and that's a big if. But nobody else. On the other side of the bracket, the Warriors, and I like Jimmy Butler. I respect Steph Curry, but I can't see them coming out the West. You know, even though I do enjoy watching them play, the Lakers, in my opinion, the Lakers are just frauds. I don't respect their consistency on the defensive end. Yes, they can shoot and score and all that type of stuff, and all the Laker hype and the Luka hype with the trade and everything like that. I don't respect them on the defensive end. That's just my opinion. I think the Lakers are frauds. And it would surprise me if Minnesota beat them in the first round if the NBA let them play without cheating. I'm not picking Minnesota to win, but it wouldn't shock me if the Timberwolves beat them. The Rockets, again, I respect the Rockets. They also building their team the right way. I believe they're a year or 2 away. They just need a little bit more experience. But I have the Thunder or long shot Clippers. That's the only 2 teams I see coming out the West. And then the NBA Finals, I see the Thunder and the Celtics in a classic in the finals, and that series could go 7. I would pick the Thunder, but it wouldn't shock me if the Celtics repeated. I believe those are the 2 best teams in the NBA, and we could be looking at a classic NBA Finals, but nobody else, in my opinion, other than those 3 top teams and the Clippers, a long shot. Nobody else in the NBA, I don't think has a chance to win a championship, barring any major injury. If there's a major injury to a star player or something fluky happened, then so be it, you know. But barring any major injury, Cleveland, Boston, OKC, dark horse, Clippers, a long shot, that's it. You know, nobody else. Now, I know a lot of y'all like the Lakers and Luka and stuff like that. Let me say this, man. I'm only going to speak on this one time. I'm not going to talk about the Lakers and Luka no more. This whole situation with the Mavericks and how he got traded and all this other type of stuff. I have no emotional connection with the Mavericks. The only thing I'm going to say about that is with Nico Harrison is I understand. And that's all I've ever said. I understand. I understand want to be better defensively. And I understand you dealing with a superstar that's disrespectful and rebellious, always cussing out the refs, cussing out the coach, and you dealing with that for years. I understand. You want to get rid of him. I understand he's a great player and his age and all that, but when you deal with that type of nonsense for years and years and years, at some point you just get fed up. You're just like, man, the hell with that. You know, again, I'm not saying I would have traded the dude or not, but I understand. That's all I'm going to say. And as far as Luka go, great offensive talent and everything like that, but his consistent bad behavior and disrespect towards the referees and stuff like that, and always cussing them out and all of that type of stuff, I just can't roll with the dude no more, man. I've sung his praises in the past, but even the few times I watched the Lakers, and I don't even watch the Lakers that much, but the few times I watch the Lakers, it's always Luka. What stands out to me the most is Luka constantly whining, crying, complaining, and then he cuss out the refs, and then he yell at JJ Redick, review it, and all type of stuff. And I've just had enough of Luka's bad behavior. I don't understand why the media gives this dude a pass, but his consistent bad behavior over the years, I've had enough, and I can't deal with that dude no more. I would no longer be a fan of him until he decides he wants to grow up and change his bad behavior. Until then, I would never root for that dude. I would never cheer for him. I don't like the Lakers anyway. I can't stand them. And you over there with LeBron, another disrespectful dude. Hey, y'all good together. Two disrespectful dudes, man, you know. And again, I don't take the Lakers serious. They call a lot of breaks playing injured teams when they had that win streak or playing bad teams, and I don't take the Lakers serious, man. That's just me. So that's that. That's the last time I'm gonna say anything about the Luka situation. He needs to grow up. He needs to grow the F up, stop cursing out authority figures, and change his bad behavior, man. And people need to start calling him out on that, man. It's sickening to watch. He's the worst I've ever seen, man. Cussing out referees and stuff, man. But anyway, that's all I want to say, man. As far as the NBA playoffs, Oklahoma City, Boston in the finals. I think Oklahoma City gonna win the championship, or Boston, one of those two. But that's that. I'm out, man.